Good morning. I thought today I would take everyone on a little tour of all the different kinds of instruments that I have here in my home. People all the time say that my house must be full of instruments or that it's sometimes built out of instruments, which is always a fun thing to hear. But I thought I would give you a little tour of them all today. A few of them you've seen before, some of them you haven't ever seen before. So this is going to be fun. And we will begin with the ukulele. This is my tenor ukulele. It's a little bit bigger than a standard soprano or concert ukulele. This is the one that you guys see me on here with my videos perform on, or at school that I carry around to your classrooms and play. It's tuned like a regular standard ukulele, and yeah, it's probably my most played instrument now. Probably my favorite one too is this tenor ukulele. I probably play it the most out of all of the instruments that we're going to see today. I'm running out of space here. Next, in the same family comes the baritone ukulele. This one is in the same register as a guitar. So if you can play a guitar and you play one of these, it'll sound pretty much the same, minus some differences in sonority from the type of strings that are on it. Now, I mostly use this to play songs that are too high for me to sing on my tenor ukulele. So, for example, in the Lava song, a long, long time ago, there was a volcano standing all alone in the middle of the sea. That's really high up there for me. Whereas this one, a long, long time ago, there was a volcano standing all alone in the middle of the sea. So that's a lot easier for my voice to sing. I can't sing quite so high sometimes. But the ukulele comes from Hawaii. Before it wasn't a state, a part of the United States, and it was still a kingdom. And the original ones are the small concert and standard sized ones, and the two I have are actually bigger than normal. Moving on to, we'll go ahead and do this one next. This is a viola. It is not a violin, although it looks a lot like a violin. It is a little bit bigger and has some lower strings on it as well. But you still play it with a bow, like on a violin. Okay. And they're really beautiful instruments. They're used as an inner voice in the orchestra for the most part to kind of fill out the orchestra along with the second violin section or the cellos. They did not get a lot of kind of popularity or music written for them for a very, very long time. Violas were actually kind of a joke instrument and still are to some extent today. People still make fun of violas a lot. But at the beginning, the viola section was filled out by violinists who could not play well enough to be in the violin section, so they would put them in the viola section. And it wasn't until probably the mid to late 1800s, so 19th century, that people started really appreciating the instrument a lot more and writing music specifically for the viola. Okay, let's finish out some of these small ones. This is a mandolin. It does not want to stay in tune for me today. You can see it does have quite a lot of strings on it. I'm actually missing one. It broke this morning. They're supposed to be in 4 groups of 2, so let's see. Yep, there we go. And it's tuned actually like a violin, so you can play any violin music on the mandolin and vice versa for the most part. This does not want to stay in tune. It has that really cool, really high pitch sound, really very resonant. This is an A style mandolin. There's also an F style mandolin that has a little swirl right here, and you can hang, right here you can hang a strap on much easier. It is originally an Italian, like, orchestral instrument. And then, like many Italian orchestral instruments, the violin we'll see in a minute, the guitar and bass included, it's used in folk music around the world. It's used a lot in bluegrass music here in the United States, and folk, and a little bit of country music, but not so much country. And our last kind of small instrument is this one. Now it looks like a mix of like a guitar up here and a ukulele down here. This is called a cavaquinho. It is a Brazilian instrument that was influenced by the Portuguese cavaco, which is a little bit smaller than this actually. It's not quite the same as a ukulele. The tuning's a little bit different. And it has metal strings versus those fiber strings, but it still has that really nice high high pitch register. It's used in traditional Brazilian samba, and it's a really fun instrument to play, to pick up and learn. So if you're looking for a new instrument that's kind of out there, excuse me, and you already know how to play guitar a little bit or ukulele, this isn't a bad idea. They're kind of hard to find, but if you can find one, they are fun to pick up and learn how to play if you want to learn some new kinds of music. Now on to some of the bigger instruments. We have first the acoustic guitar. Guitars are also European, Italian string instruments, like so many of the other ones that I have. 6 strings, obviously, and that nice lower to mid-range. Mid-range. Obviously very popular in popular music and blues music and jazz and folk music and all kinds. The guitar is probably one of the most popular instruments in the world. And finally, our last instrument for today is this one, which is an acoustic bass guitar. As you can see, it's pretty big. You can't even fit on the screen all the way. Now, I have not brought this one to the school before. No one's ever seen it before. It's like an electric bass guitar, but you don't have to plug it into anything. Okay? Now, basses, first, again, orchestral instruments, Italian. I think Italian at least. And they were used, the big upright basses were used in blues and jazz, and still are to this day, folk country music. But they're really, really big, and they're really, really heavy, and they're really, really difficult to transport. I mean, they're taller than I am sometimes, with their end pin stuck out, and they're just a very big, bulky instrument. Bass guitars are much easier to handle, are not nearly as big, and a lot easier to play, especially because they have frets on them, right? If anyone recognizes that. It's still a really fun instrument to play, and these are great because you can travel with them and you don't need an amplifier or to plug them in or anything like that. They are quite fun. I do also have a keyboard, but that's not set up right now, so I can't show that to you. But people always ask me, what all instruments can you play? What all do you have? This is kind of all of them. If you want to see, they're kind of all spread around me here, and it's taken me a long time to acquire and learn how to play all of these. Some of them playing for 15, 16 years, some for just maybe 1 or 2 years, and so it's always fun to have something new to learn and something new to try out and play. So I hope you liked this little musical tour of all the instruments that I have, and I hope everyone survived the storms last night and everyone stayed safe. And I hope to see you all very soon.